What's up, YouTube? SithLordly here with another comic haul for you. This week, something a little bit different. Talking about Secret Wars that came out in 1984. I've got the full run, and I've got the official tie-ins. But I was looking around at, what the unofficial tie-ins might be. Are there any? And I came across a website that had a supposed index of unofficial tie-ins and crossovers. And I'll leave a link to that in the video description just to see what you think. But what I wanted to do just for fun is take a look at that list, see what books I already had, which, I had a fair amount, and then decided to pick up the rest. And luckily they were all affordable and available online, my comic shop where I seem to buy my Bronze Age books each week. So these are all books for the personal collection. And, with the way things are going now, it's kind of like, you want books for your personal collection only to find out that, like a common issue all of a sudden became some sort of a spec'd key or something, and now you're going to pay $50 for it. So what I'm seeking to do, I'm a run collector. I'm a Bronze Age completionist. I want to own all these books. I own a fair amount already. I just don't want to pay more for them. And I certainly can appreciate spec and folks who, want to find something and then sell that for profit and then buy a key that they want. I definitely understand that collecting style as well. For me, I'm just trying to accumulate books that I want and pay less for them, before they all of a sudden get hot because of some announcement or some appearance or something like that. So anyway, I'm just going to show you what I picked up this week. For the sake of just keeping this video short, because there's so many, I'm not going to go into the usual writers and artists. I'm just going to show you what I got. But first of all, we've got Incredible Hulk 292, Dragon Man there on the cover. Then keeping up with Hulk, we got 294. And again, they're in these kind of wrinkly bags because there still seems to be a comic book bag and or boards shortage at my LCS and I guess in general. Hulk 295, Boomerang. Moving on to Iron Man, we've got 181 with Mandarin on the cover. Iron Man 182. 183. And again, the common thread seeming to be that on this website, right, these were like unofficial tie-ins or crossovers. I haven't read these issues in a long time. I used to own just about all of them, I'm sure, before I quit comics for the 5th time or whatever. This time I'm staying in. I always say that. So I haven't yet read these to tell you, yeah, there's a crossover or a tie-in. Again, these are all books that I want for my collection anyway, so it kind of gave me a fun project to complete. Marvel Age 20. So these, I remember when, I was a kid and going to the LCS in the 80s, and I'd see these Marvel Age, and some of my friends would pick them up, and I didn't. I should have. But I was always wondering, like, well, this isn't really like a comic story, is it? Is it more like an editorial or fun kind of book like that? But, of course, we've seen these Marvel Ages take off, especially like the one issue with Secret Wars in it. Here we go, issue 27 for Marvel Age, and then the Marvel Age Annual #1. A lot of cool characters there on the cover. Wolverine, Power Pack, Beyonder, Scarlet Witch, She-Hulk. Moving into Marvel Team Up, great Black Widow cover, 140. This one's for a hairy old fat guy. I told him I bought a ROM book and didn't tell him why, but look at that dope purple cover. It's really cool. Got Spectacular Spider-Man 89 with Black Cat. Used to have this full run, and there weren't that many issues. I wish I would have kept it because now it's a bit more. But The Thing, #10. And then rounding it out with Thor, 340. 341. And 383. Oh, Wrecking Crew. They seem to be getting a lot of mentions, getting hot these days at Defenders 18, which I'm glad I have. Which is an example, I guess, like this, where, I bought that Defenders 18 just for the personal collection a while ago, and I didn't pay a lot for it. In fact, I got it from my comic shop. And of course now, you look at the listing prices on that Defenders 18 first team I guess Wrecking Crew and prices are just interesting. But I'm glad I've got it. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing here. Is that these are all books that I want for the collection. Not saying any of these are going to, go up or be spec'd on, but the fact that somebody put a list and said, hey, these are Secret War tie-ins. Well, as I'm buying my weekly books kind of in a random fashion, let me have a fun game and, get all these so I can cross that off the list. So probably next will be Secret Wars 2 unofficial tie-ins. Because I have a lot of those official ones, where on the corner it says, Secret Wars 2 or whatever over here. Because I just want to knock those out. And just love these Bronze Age books, love the Copper Age books, love the Silver Age books.